Hello everyone, welcome to the daily current affair analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy, 22nd August 2025. Before getting into the discussion, please make sure that you subscribe to our channel. If you haven't, please do subscribe and also hit the bell icon to receive on-time update from Shankar IAS Academy. And displayed here are the topics for the discussion. The first topic is about the Agni Missile system, because recently we successfully conducted a test fire of a variant of Agni 5 intercontinental ballistic missile from Odisha. And the next article is about the border security force, because recently the West Bengal government handed over nearly 77 kilometers of land near the Indo-Bangladesh border for fencing to the border security force. And the next article is about the hepatitis, because recently the Post-Graduation Institute for Medical Science in Chandigarh has decided to provide free diagnostics for the people with hepatitis. And the next article, it is about the gender identity recognition versus bureaucratic hurdles, and this article is talking about the persistent challenges related to the self-identification, and we will be discussing this in the context of the recent case in Manipur. And the last, we will be discussing prelims focus. And now we will begin the discussion with the first topic. India successfully test fires Agni 5 ballistic missile from Odisha. The article is taken from The Hindu. So in August 20, 2025, under the leadership of the Strategic Force Command under the Ministry of Defense, India successfully tested the Agni 5 ballistic missile, intercontinental ballistic missile from the Chandipur of Odisha. So in this background, let us discuss more about this news article. So we will go through the key highlights from the news. So the test was conducted on August 20, 2025 from the Chandipur of Odisha, and it was conducted by the Strategic Force Command working under the Ministry of Defense. And the missile that we tested was a variant of Agni 5 intercontinental ballistic missile with a range of 5,000 kilometers, and it was developed indigenously by the DRDO, that is Defense Research and Development Organization, and the success validates the operational and technical parameters of this missile, and it is a part of the long-term security strategy of India. And before this test on August 20, we conducted last year, that is on March 11, 2024, we conducted a test of Agni 5 equipped with multiple independently re-entry vehicle. And this technology is capable of attacking multiple targets with a single missile. So coming to the missile, so what is meant by missile? Missile is a guided weapon that we use to attack one place from another place, right? So these are the major components of the missile. So if you take any missile, it will have a propulsion system which will provide thrust to the missile, and the next guidance and control which is used for targeting, and the fuel. So based on the fuel, we can classify the missiles into the missiles which are using liquid, solid or hybrid fuels. And the missiles will have wings and fins for steering them, and finally the warhead. So warhead means the lethal weapon or the non-lethal substance carried by the missile. And coming to the types of missile, we have the ballistic missile, which follows a parabolic path. So how this ballistic missile works? For example, imagine that this is a target and this is a place where we launch the missile. So once we launch the missile, the missile will go to the higher altitude. So after reaching a particular height, under the influence of the gravity, it will come back to the target. And this is highly dangerous and at the same time extremely fast, and based on the ranges we can classify the missiles into short range ballistic missile which can travel up to 1000 km, medium range ballistic missile between 1000 and 3000, and intermediate ballistic missile 3000 to 5000, and in intercontinental ballistic missile more than 5500 kilometers. So it can travel more than 5500 kilometers. And the next type is the cruise missiles. So cruise missiles are more or less similar to the aircraft which usually fly in the low altitude, and it can be guided throughout its flight, and it is slower than the ballistic missile, but it is used for more precise attack, and it is very hard for detecting. And the examples like the Tomahawk of USA and Nirbhay of India. And the next is the surface to air missile system. So this plays a crucial role in the air defense of a country, and it is used for targeting the enemy aircraft and missiles. So for example, the S-400 missile system of Russia and the Agash missile system of India. Agash missile system is also known as Sudarshana Chakra of India. And coming to the next type is the air-to-air missiles, which is launched from fighter jets to destroy the enemy aircraft. For example, the Astra system, missile system of India. And the next we have the anti-ship and anti-tank missiles. For example, it is usually performed for destroying the tanks in the ground and also for naval purposes. So you can see that the BrahMos, developed by India and Russia is an example, and also the Javelin of USA is known for anti-tank purpose. And coming to the Agni series, so the term Agni is taken from the Sanskrit, which means fire, and it symbolizes power and the strength of a nation. And you can see that it was indigenously developed by DRDO in 1989, and the first test was conducted in 1989 as a part of integrated guided missile development program. But eventually you can see that now we reached up to Agni 5. And currently we successfully tested the variant of Agni 5 intercontinental ballistic missile, and Agni 6 is also currently under the progress. So eventually we can see that the nation improved the accuracy, mobility, and all other capabilities of the Agni series. So with this we will move to the next article. West Bengal government hands over land for construction of border fence to BSF. The article is taken from The Hindu. So recently the West Bengal government handed over nearly 77 kilometers near the Indo-Bangladesh border for fencing and construction of other infrastructure to the BSF. So in this background, let us discuss more about this news article. First, you will go through the status of land acquisition in West Bengal. So the total border the West Bengal sharing with the Bangladesh is nearly 2,216 kilometers, and out of this, nearly 1,647 kilometers is already fenced, and the remaining area is the 569 kilometers. And out of this 569 kilometers, nearly 112 kilometers the fencing is not possible, and the remaining area is the 456 kilometers. So out of this 456 kilometers, currently the West Bengal government handed over nearly 77 kilometers, and the acquisition process for nearly 229 kilometers is currently going on, and the remaining area is the 149 kilometers. And recently the Ministry of Home Affairs informed the Supreme Court that the West Bengal government is not following the procedures under the LARR, that is Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act of 2013. And even today the West Bengal government is following the old school pattern, that is negotiating with the landowners for land acquisition, even for the national security purpose. So if they are following the procedures under the LARR Act, then they can they can provide fair compensation to the people, and they can acquire the land. The government can acquire the land more in a more transparent way. But now the Union Home Ministry, they informed the Supreme Court that the West Bengal government is not following the procedures under the LARR Act, and this is slowing down the land acquisition process in the West Bengal. So here you can see the border between the India and the West Bengal, the West Bengal and Bangladesh, and here we are going to discuss more about the BSF, that is Border Security Force. So coming to the BSF, so the full form is Border Security Force, and this was established on 1st December 1965, followed by the India-Pakistan War, and the motto of the BSF is the duty unto death. And it is a type of CAPF, that is Central Armed Police Force. So we can see that under the Central Armed Police Force we have various forces like the National Security Guard, BSF, that is Border Security Force, Indo-Tibetan Police, and also the the Indo-Nepal and Indo-Tibetan, Indo-Bhutan Police. So they are all coming under the CAPF. So CAPF refers to a group of forces working under the Ministry of Home Affairs. And you can see that this BSF was established under the BSF, that is Border Security Force Act of 1968, and it is working under the Ministry of Home Affairs. So coming to the key roles and responsibilities, so guarding the India border, especially from infiltration, smuggling and illegal migration. And you can see that as per the recent report in this June 31st, nearly 700 plus people got arrested near the Indo-Bangladesh border. And you can see that the BSF will also support the army during the war, and they are known for infrastructure development near the border area, and they also participate in counterinsurgency, manages internal security, and also participates in the UN peacekeeping mission. So recently you can see that nearly 25 BSF personnel, women, they went to Congo, which was suffering from a long-lasting civil war. And the next is the areas of operation. So the BSF is operating in the border area of the Bangladesh and Pakistan. So in the India-China border, we have the Indo-Tibetan Police Force, and in the Bhutan and Nepal, we have a Sashtra Seema Bal. So they are guarding the border area of India, Nepal, and India-Bhutan region, and also deployed for election works. That means managing the order during the time of election, and also for anti-Naxal operations. And coming to the strength and the structure, so currently we have nearly 2.5 lakh plus personnel in the border security force, and it is one of the largest border police forces in the world, and it is headed by the DG, that is Directorate General, usually an IPS officer, and it is organized into different sectors, battalions, and companies. And coming to the special units under the BSF, we have air wing for aerial surveillance, water wing for riverine patrol. We know that the Bangladesh region, through the river also sometimes illegal migration and other illegal activities can take place, and the artillery unit and camel contingent for patrolling in the desert region and also used for parading. So this is mostly found in the India-Pakistan border. So in this topic, we discussed the current land acquisition process in the status in the West Bengal and the basics about the border police force. So with this, we will move to the next article. Free diagnostic services to be provided to the patients for viral hepatitis A, B, C, and E at the Postgraduate Institute of Medical Science. It is located in Chandigarh. So in this background, let us discuss more about the hepatitis. So hepatitis is an inflammation of liver that is caused by a variety of infectious virus that can lead to a lot of health problems like liver damage and in certain cases development of cancer. So the hepatitis can be divided into 5 strains. So here you can see the types of the hepatitis virus, and we will look into the transmission also. So hepatitis A, so it is transmitted through contaminated food and water. It is acute and self-limiting. That means the severity will be high, but it will the disease, the infection will resolve within a few weeks by its own, and the complications are very rare, and the vaccine is available. And coming to the hepatitis B, it is usually transmitted through blood and unprotected sexual contact, and also from mother to child, and it is also acute, and at the same time it can be chronic. That means the symptoms can develop eventually, and it can last for a very long time, and this can lead to complications such as liver cirrhosis and cancer. But for here also we have vaccine. And the next is hepatitis C, which is also bloodborne. That means through blood transfusion and unsafe injections, this can lead to transmission of this hepatitis C, and this is often chronic. That means symptoms will slowly develop, and it can last for a very long time, and can lead to complications such as liver cirrhosis and cancer. But the vaccine is not used, but we can cure the hepatitis C through antivirals. And the next is the hepatitis D. So it is similar to hepatitis B, and in this case the hepatitis D will affect only the people who are already got infected with the hepatitis B, because this hepatitis D needs the hepatitis B for the replication, and this can lead to superinfection because of the because the person is already infected with hepatitis B, and this can lead to complications such as severe liver diseases, and it is preventable via the vaccine. And the next is hepatitis E. So it is also the transmission is similar to the hepatitis A, usually spread through contaminated food and water, and this is also acute and self-limiting. That means when the symptoms appears, it will be more severe, and within few weeks or days it can resolve, and it is very severe in pregnant women, and the vaccines are very limited, and it is used in some nations only. And coming to the global and Indian context, according to the estimation of the WHO, nearly 354 million people across the world got affected with the chronic hepatitis B and C. So this hepatitis B and C is a major challenge. And coming to the India, so we have nearly approximately 40 million people as carriers of hepatitis, and there is a rising concern of hepatitis C due to unsafe medical practices. And we have launched in 2018, we have launched the National Viral Hepatitis Control Program to eliminate the hepatitis C by 2030, and this is aligning with the goal of WHO. So in this topic, we discussed the basics about hepatitis, and with this we will move to the next article. Punishing process on gender identity recognition. The article is taken from The Hindu. So this article is talking about the challenges persisting in self-identification. So let us discuss more about this. So first we will go through the background. So what is the issue? So the issue happened in Manipur. So Dr. Beyonce Leshram, by birth a male, but later in 2019 went under gender reassignment surgery and came as a female, and she changed her details in all the documents including PAN card and Aadhaar, but the university refused to grant updated educational certificates to Dr. Beyonce Leshram. And now the Manipur High Court directed the state to issue the new updated certificates to Dr. Beyonce Leshram. So this case is highlighting the persisting gap between the rights and the implementation of rights, and the challenges persisting in self-identification. So what are the cases the Supreme Court the High Court referred for giving this verdict? So first is the Nalsa versus Union of India 2014. So this case recognizes the transgenders as a third gender and affirmed the right to self-identification, and also directed for affirmative measures like treating them as socially and educationally backward section for providing more welfare from the government. And the next is the articles of the Indian Constitution, that is 14, 15, 16, 19, clause 1 and subclause A and 21. So this guarantees or extends the rights of equality, non-discrimination, public employment, and the right to expression, especially related to identity, dignity, and privacy to all genders, including transgenders. And the next is Navedej Singh Johar versus Union of India 2018. In this case, the Supreme Court emphasized the dignity and autonomy in sexual orientation and gender identity, and also led to the decriminalization of homosexuality in India. And the next is the KS Puttaswamy versus Union of India case 2017. This case, also known as Aadhaar case, highlights the importance of privacy and also placed the privacy as a basic right, and also emphasized the autonomy of a person in making decisions related to self-identification and dignity. And coming to the statutory scheme to protect the transgender community, we have the Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act 2019. So the section 3 of the act prohibits the discrimination in education. So not here, it prohibits the discrimination at education, employment, healthcare, access to services. And the section 6, it talks about the certification of the identity. So it is based on the self-perceived gender. No medical examination is required for the initial stage for the certification process. So if the surgery is necessary, then the person can apply for revised identity certificate. So how the certification works, we will discuss. So time-bound issuance of the certificate by the district magistrate is also important. So we can see that if a person want this certificate of identity, then they can submit an affidavit along with their medical or psychological test to the district magistrate. If everything is fine, then within 30 days the district magistrate has to issue the certificate. And if the person wants to undergo the surgery, then after the surgery they can approach for the revised certificate. And the section 7, yes, it talks about the revised certificate. So if a person opts to change the gender from male to female after medical intervention, in that case they can apply for the revised certificate. And the section 18 of the act penalizes the harassment or the denial of the rights to the transgender people. And also the act provides for the establishment of National Council for Transgender Persons. It is a statutory body chaired by the Union Minister for Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment. And what this Manipur case reveals. So this case reveals the systematic issues persisting related to the implementation of the rights. The first is the proceduralism over the rights. So you can see that the institution gave more importance to procedures rather than recognizing the rights of the people. And the next is the medicalization creep. So misreading section 7. So we can see that in the initial stage of the medical examination is not necessary, right? So but it is often the people are asked to go to for medical checkup and all. And the next is the institutional biases. That means waiting for the high orders. So we can see that whenever we go to any government institutions, sometimes the people will say that we did not get the order from the higher authorities, that is why this thing is delaying or that thing is delaying. So here also we can see the same issue. And the next is the cost of enforcement. So we can see that a person, even after recognizing their rights, the person has to file a case in the court to get their rights. So this is showing the gap between the rights and the implementation of the rights. And the next is the reform. So what can be done? So administrative and governance reforms be needed. So the uniform standard of procedures for all boards and universities, that is accepting the transgender certificates for updating their certificates and university certificates and all. And the next is time-bound services. So we can see that once a person applies for the certificate of identity, then within the 30 days they have to the district magistrate has to issue the certificate. So here also we need to bring the same reform. And the next is the digital intervention. That means for example, the changes in the digit locker. We know that digit locker, it is used to save the documents in a digital manner. So if anything changes there, then we can see that it can be changed in the university or in the board certificate. So if we can integrate the digital data with the upcoming certificates and all, then the procedure will be more easy. And the next is the measures for grievance redressal. So designated nodal officers for implementing the rights without any delay. And the next is the capacity building, especially the capacity building of the officials, so they will be more aware about the rights and its importance. And the next is harmonizing the know your customer service. So we can see that aligning the the Aadhaar, PAN, passport name gender update with the transgender certificates to avoid the repetition. And the next is the monitoring. That means national council, they can monitor the implementation of the rights in every institutions. And the next is the welfare leakages. For example, ensure document updates can even automatically triggering the access to scholarship, hostel and health insurance. So we can see that if one thing is changed, for example, if there is a change in their identity card, then it can, if you have a system to change their details in other certificates also, then it will be a one click method to ensure more welfare and the rights to the people. So simply, if we can simplify the procedures, then it will lead to more more implementation of the rights without much delay and difficulty. And coming to the way forward, first, right first administration. For example, you can see that the behavior of waiting for higher orders, so this has to be changed. For example, for that we need a system which is more digitalized, efficient and with minimum documentation. And the next is the whole of government approach. For example, the Ministry of Social Justice, Education, IT and the Unique Identification Authority of India and the state, they can collaborate, so to bring more welfare to the people. And the next is the judicial signaling. For example, you can see that currently the intervention of the Manipur High Court is the best example. So the constant judicial intervention can lead to more efficient implementation of the rights in every institutions. So in this topic, we discussed what are the challenges persisting in self-identification, especially the identification related to gender, and what are the issues in that, and what can be done. So with this, we will move to the next article. So coming to the prelims focus, so first topic is mastitis in animals. It's an inflammation of the odor in the mammals, usually caused due to bacteria such as Staphylococcus aureus, and this can lead to swelling and pain around the glands and also leading to reduced milk quantity. And the next is the Surakshas. So it's an initiative developed by the National Institute for Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management to convert the agri-food processing waste into biodegradable packages as an alternative to plastics, promoting the idea of circular economy. We know that circular economy, it is based on recycling. And the next is the National Institute for Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management. So they launched the Surakshit initiative. So what is this institution? So it's a body established in 2012 by the Ministry of Food Processing Industries to promote education, research and also enhancing the industry support and entrepreneurship in the food processing sector. And we know that food processing is very important, especially it plays a critical role in ensuring the inclusive development from the lower strata of the society. And recently we can see that in Karnataka, the Yadagir Sila Parishad, they launched a food processing unit for the self-help group under the Atmanirbhar Bharat for inclusive development. So food processing industry has a great future if we can utilize it properly. And coming to the next topic is the Center for Development for Advanced Computing. It's a research and development body established in 1988 in Pune, and it is working under the Ministry of Information and Technology. And they are known for developing electronics and IT solutions for economic and human progress. And recently in 2024 they launched the Jadan portal. So this Jadan portal is used for managing and conservation of the antiquities. And coming to the next, e-Jagriti. So it's a digital platform launched by the Ministry of Consumer Affairs to ensure transparent, efficient and consumer grievance redressal. So this is for the enhancing the rights of the consumers. So with this, we will move to the next. With this, we are coming to the conclusion for today's current affair analysis. If you like the video, hit the like button, give your feedbacks as comments and share this content with your friends. And before leaving this channel, don't forget to subscribe and also hit the bell icon to receive on-time update from Shankar IAS Academy. Thank you. Have a nice day. And by the way, the daily question analysis will be uploaded in this channel this evening at 5 o'clock. Please do give maximum participation. Have a nice day.